Good morning and welcome to In Search of Prosperity Sisterhood. I am so glad you ladies are here this morning. And we've got a few that already said, hey, I need the replay for today. So on Monday, we had a great question in our live discussion that then spearheaded this session. So I just noticed, so I've been using this thing called Otter AI to record my sessions and all of that, and I didn't allow them in. So if they come back in and I pause, that's me. As things come to you, say them, ask them, raise your hand, because that's what created this session today. So on Monday, we talked about the power of three and doing things a third time, the lucky charms and all of that. So today we're talking about the power of 30. So the question was, how do I keep from relationship overwhelm in my networking efforts? Like, what's next? What do I do next that still doesn't create this overwhelm of 7,000 relationships between the 21 networking events I go to every year, right? Like, it can multiply really fast. And yet, in this group, you are not business card passer outers. You are not here for that quick yes, right? So it comes to relationships. That's why we're here. So the relationship that you have with your networking group, with that top 30, is what's going to create that business for you. Bring in those referrals. So on Monday, I talked about this concept of when everybody went online during COVID, okay? Everybody went online and the digital market exploded. And so did the number of touches, digital touches, it takes to get to a yes in our world, okay? So it multiplied. It was probably 20 or 30 before COVID hit. And now it's 60 to 80 touches, digital touches, before someone pushes buy and puts money in your pocket. Okay. So what if now, okay, so the rest of the concept is that in the real world, in the physical world, it still only takes 7 to 10 touches. And using this strategy, I have been able to, and help my clients, bring that down to even 5 on average touches before a yes is established. Okay. That's pretty dang good. Now, going digital and doing social media and online platforms and all this stuff, like that has its place because that is a different multiplier. Okay. But you can be your own multiplier. And especially for those one-to-one products, the time sensitive things, right? Or a timeline series of things that people are saying yes to. So for instance, if you have a product that you walk them through physically for 30 days or 90 days, you only have so much time and energy to put into that one-to-one relationship, right? Or so many yeses that you can fill space for or take space for before you max out, right? So I definitely always encourage to have some sort of digital multiplier, evergreen product, all of that. Okay. So this is for those things, and we'll fill those organically. So without further ado, this is about relationships. So this strategy is taking those top 30 influencers in your circles that you build relationships with, that then they and you stay top of mind with them, and they are helping you fill your business. Period. So the strategy goes, and it's a very tactile strategy. So you guys know I'm a pen and paper person. Things have to be in front of you, print it off, print the picture, do the thing, okay? So this is something that you'll have to, and I was thinking about this, okay, the creative part of this is it's physical. So it can be a file folder that opens, just you need some space, okay? It can be a bulletin board that you dedicate to it. It can be the inside. I was looking around today as a creative person. Okay, so I have my notes here, and this notebook has a folder on the front. I don't use that part. So this is a great space for this project, okay? This strategy. So taking those top 25 to 30 people that are your influencers, making this visual chart with them, whether it's their physical business card or a square allotted specifically to them, and then a post-it note pad. Okay, I like the mini ones, or they're like 1.5 by 2 inches, something like that. And you're checking them off your list. Every single time you have a one-to-one experience with that person, a touch, you check them off your list for that month. So the strategy is to touch those top 30 people every single month. Now you're going to have those few people every month where you struggle to find a reason or way to touch them or their business. And that's a great opportunity to invite them to coffee, to sit down with them on a Zoom and learn more about their business. Maybe you can't send people to them because you don't understand it well enough yet, but they're on your list for a reason. They have, they've impacted you or your business in some way. So make that effort. And then, in a few months, this is Coach Shaina. I have coached this multiple times to multiple women in multiple industries. Okay. So sometimes those stragglers repeat themselves a little too often. The connection just isn't there. We're talking shop here today. Okay. So take them off your top 30 list. If they pique your mind, prompt you once a year, keep them on that list. Keep them on the once a year list. But the establish relationship list, you want to have excuses to reach out to them. So when I say a touch, what is a touch? A touch can be, again, anything one-to-one, because these are the physical established relationships you are working on, okay? And these can be, you don't have to know this person in person, okay? They don't have to be sitting across from you at a coffee table, but you can still establish a very physical relationship with them. And that is with your voice and your written word. So that's phone calls, Zoom meetings, one-to-one, face-to-face, voice messages, sending a card, correspondence in the mail, physically, and then an email connection. One-to-one, again, a conversation. Here, Mary's hungry. When I bring up email, it also makes us think of referrals. So touching them or their business includes referrals, includes a shout out, specifically one-to-one. If you're going to a physical networking meeting, it's standing up and saying something about them. So these 3 words have really been rolling around in my head lately, and that is gratitude, appreciation, and celebration. And all of these relationships, those are your excuses. Those are your reasons to call, to reach out, to touch them or their business, personally or professionally. The key is to stay top of mind. Even if it's a quick, hey, I've been thinking about you, or I have this question, or have you thought about connecting with this association or this industry? Because as you give them things, they give you things, right? So it's that idea of reciprocation. You want to join me? Okay. So again, you need to make a physical chart. And all relationships are not created equal. Okay. Especially when you're talking about networking influencers, your champions, and wanting to stay top of mind with them. You can't be everybody's everything. And you can't send business and touch every single person in your network enough to stay top of mind with them. Signing them up for your newsletter is not relationship building. Does it help you stay top of mind on occasion? Yes. And should these 30 people be on your newsletter list? Sure, yes. Should they be following your business online? Yes. But these 30 people get more than that. They get more of you in your network as being a connector. You all have the connection queen inside of you. And this strategy gives you those relationship results that don't feel like overwhelmed because it's only 30. It's one a day. You're checking them off your list in a positive professional way because gratitude, appreciation, and celebration are your motivators, are your main themes. Okay. So as you're sharing your heart with them and your information with them, right? You're not selling to them, you're selling through them. You're being super ultra human with these 25 to 30 people. Everybody else gets the human version of the smile that you have on your selfie that you're posting where on the interwebs, right? But these 30 people get the who you are, why you do what you do, and how you do it. But none of them have to be doing business with you. Does that make sense? A lot of times we think, oh, that person does business with me. They should be telling their friends and stuff about me, right? When really, we need to look for influencers. We need to look for champions. We need to look for that network that is going to support you in a way that one yes could never do. They're going to send you 10 yeses in a year. 10 times 30 is 300 yeses. That's a yes a day. Just like you are reciprocating, they are reciprocating that back to you. Okay. So that's my challenge to you all, is to create that physical chart. Know that these relationships aren't necessarily for friendship, and they're not so that they will buy from you, but so that their friends and colleagues and their circles will buy from you. So that bottom 5, they're going to rotate, right? But you're going to have 25 solid relationships that in 1 year, you're going to know. It's going to be measurable. You're going to see your business fill up. One of my clients, a bookkeeper, she had this strategy, no internet strategy whatsoever, other than having a website that linked to her quotes and things like that. She filled her business with this strategy in 6 months. Filled it, maxed it out. Like I said earlier, that one-to-one part of her business, maxed it out in 6 months. Probably less. I didn't measure it at the time. But take that top 30 and build and maintain and groom those relationships to be your influencers, to be your cheerleaders, to be your champions. Because yes, those top 30 are maybe 1 or 2 is your direct client, but they have a really good friend that is your client. And then they have a whole bunch of people in their circle that have said yes to you. And that's the vision I want to give you with this strategy, is to take it and make it about them, right? With the gratitude, appreciation, and celebration. And you're going to get those referrals. You're going to get those things coming back to you, because of what you send out, you get back. And yet, if you're sending it out to 100, 200 people, you're spread too thin. If you can only do 1 a day to 100 or 200 people, they're only getting touched by you once or twice a year. And that's not enough. Especially when it takes 7 to 10 physical touches to get a yes. And they're your multipliers. So if you're working through them, not to them, if you're working through them, that 7 to 10 touches that you give them throughout the year multiplies out and allows you to focus on the intentional yeses and the intentional nos that come through, right? But you're not spread thin. That's what I want to give you, ladies, is just don't be spread thin on your relationships, especially the ones that are helping you build and grow and maintain your business, your livelihood. So take that and run with it. I want to hear about your results. I want to hear about the hiccups maybe that come through that. I haven't really ever heard any. Maybe there's something that you're just like, oh, I would never do that. Well, let's challenge that. Or maybe there's something I've never done that before. That's interesting. Let's try it. So whether it's creating a script for the ones that are just hard to connect with at the beginning, or just walking through, okay, who is the best persons for this list? Who are my people? They're going to shout me out, that are going to be my champions and cheerleaders. Make that list. It's different than that list of prospective clients. Because like I said, you're not selling to these people. You are selling through them. So with that, we're going to go into our live discussion and hash this out on that real level and see where it lands. We've heard, I don't know, I've been thinking about this a lot all week. So you hear the concept or idea of you are the 5 people you hang out with. This is a different list than that. So I want to share that with you. This is a different list than that. This is a list that helps you not be relationally overwhelmed in your networking efforts. Keep the list close. Keep it in front of you. Check those people off every single month. Okay, yep, I touched them. I touched them. I touched them. I touched them. And watch your business grow and watch theirs grow. And keep celebrating them. Keep appreciating them and have gratitude for the entire process. And things will change. Things will get bigger and more full and have those relationships be something to talk about. So with that, we're going to go into our live discussion and see where this all lands for you ladies. Thank you again for your questions and your peer pressure. And I'm ready to get going. Talk soon.